Yesterday I did a little painting, and when I was done, I realized I didn't really like it, and I was feeling kind of like a failure. This is the painting. Do you think I failed? I don't think I failed. And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, some of you are probably looking at this painting and thinking, why do you think you failed? It's a pretty good painting, and you're not wrong, it's okay. But I'm sure you know the feeling of doing something and finding that it doesn't meet your expectations and you're not as good at it automatically as you thought you'd be. So in that regard, when I finished, I felt pretty crappy about it. It just wasn't what I expected would be the end result. Now, why didn't I fail? I'm going to reword that question and change it to a statement. How to fail well. I had a good time when I was painting this. I was enjoying myself, and I think that that is extremely valuable. I was doing something I love, so in that regard, I did not fail. I tried something new. In fact, I tried 3 new things. I tried a new surface medium to paint on. This is a gesso board, and I had never painted on gesso board before, and I didn't know if I would like it or not, but I was excited to try it because I tend to like paintings that have a really smooth surface and where you can't see the canvas texture. For some reason, that just is the vibe for me, and so yeah, I tried this, and I really like it. At first, I didn't. The first layers, I was like, I don't know about this. And then as I kept building paint on, I realized like, yeah, I really like how this looks and I like how it feels. I also tried a new toning technique. I had never used a solvent to thin my paint down to tone my canvas before painting before. I had always either used acrylic or I hadn't toned my canvas. So I tried that and I thought it was pretty cool, although I think I need to refine my technique. I also tried a new painting technique. This entire painting was done in one sitting in an hour while I had a timer on. So it was essentially an alla prima painting, all wet in wet, which I've never done before, and I found it extremely challenging. And it's a little silly that I thought that I would be able to execute a brilliant painting with a technique I'd never tried before. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who has fallen into that trap. Thirdly, I learned things while I was doing this painting that I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't tried it. I learned things that I can use to do better next time, or I can use to adjust my approach next time. And maybe in the end, wet and wet painting entirely won't be an approach that works for me, but that's something I still need to figure out. Now you might be asking, what did you learn though? I learned a lot. I learned, 1, as I already said, that I actually really like gesso board and I'd like to paint on it more. And 2, I learned that wet and wet techniques are nice. They feel really smooth and they're really fun. I just need to practice and maybe study some wet and wet techniques. Maybe I can find some videos online or a couple books I can read about it. I also learned that, as usual, this is not new for me, I need to pay attention to my values. I went into this painting thinking that I could just fly by the seat of my pants and that it would be fine. I didn't want to copy my reference photo exactly because it was a really gray day when I took it. There wasn't a lot of color variation and I didn't really want a super dull painting. Looking back, I think that actually it would be really fun to try to capture that light. I think it would be a really interesting challenge, so that's something I might do in the future. I learned that I need to study before I get too cocky about this particular technique. I don't know what I don't know, but since I tried painting like this, it might actually be easier for me to understand and grasp the concepts while I'm watching videos or reading books and learning about it than it might have been before I had actually tried it. And of course, I had a good time. Like I said earlier, I see so many artists these days so concerned about making progress and mastering techniques, and they completely forget to enjoy the process. There's this rush to be good enough and to bring in an income or attract a huge following. And we're all losing sight of the fact that when we were kids, we were just drawing and painting because it was fun and because we were able to express ourselves. And my big takeaway was that, yeah, in the end, this painting, for me, it's not much to look at, but it's not half bad, and I really did have a nice time just sitting there for an hour pushing paint around. And to let go like that and to just sink into remembering that, oh yeah, I like painting. Painting is fun, whether or not the results are all that I had hoped they would be. I'm an artist and it's fun. So I would ask that for those of you who are artists, just remember that this is fun for you and you like it. And if you don't like it, why are you doing it? Might be something you need to consider. For those of you who aren't artists, maybe it's time for you to remember why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, why you got into it in the first place, and stop giving yourself over to hustle culture or whatever it might be. I'm also going to remind you to be kind to yourselves. Life is crazy right now. The world is topsy-turvy, and there's so many things that are just exceptionally difficult. So just remember to be gentle with yourself, be honest with yourself, and to do things with intention. Also, give yourself some, grace. That might be the right word. Yesterday when I was doing this painting, I was having a great time, but I was also not feeling well. I had a migraine and my body was really tired. And yet I still did this. I accomplished something. And when I woke up this morning and was able to look at all of this with fresh eyes, and by this morning I mean yesterday morning, I was able to remind myself of the facts that I was able to do this, something I had never tried before, while my body was not in top condition, and I accomplished something. So I want to ask you to also remember those things when you're judging yourself harshly. Give yourself some room to be a human, because you are a human. Crazy, right? Anyways, thank you so much for watching and for being here. And if you got something out of this video, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. And I might be begging a little. Your engagement on this video will help me bring in more people and help make me feel more motivated to continue making videos, which I admit right now is a little bit difficult. So if you have an extra second, please do one or all three of those things. It would make a huge difference for me. I'll let you enjoy the rest of me painting blobby tree branches on your own. See ya. Have a great day. Thanks again.